What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I haven't done a video like this in so long, but today we're just gonna chat. We're gonna talk about some design mistakes, and I say mistakes, but really just things that I've done that have really helped me understand my style that could be categorized as design mistakes. We're gonna talk about some things that I have done throughout my design journey that I really think have helped me understand my style, understand where I wanna take my style, and things that maybe in the design world would be considered as no. So without further ado, let's talk about the design mistakes that I have made in my own design journey. So the first mistake that I have made is buying fast design, so to speak. What I mean by this is buying things from big box stores when they have those drops every season, and feeling that sense of urgency to get these items because they're hot and they're popular, and it almost made me feel like I liked those items as well, or I needed to like those items, and this sense of urgency to have them in my home. And what I noticed is I was donating those items way more often than buying other items that I would collect over time. So I have really slowed down with buying from big box stores, and I've really tried to be very strategic with the items that I do buy, and I try to ask myself, how long will I have this item? Does it match the other items that I have in my home? Does it go with my color palette? Does it go with my material palette? Do I need this item? And oh my gosh, when I ask myself these questions when I'm out at those big box stores and seeing these new drops, I have cut down the purchasing from these, and I probably have saved so much money from doing this as well. And to be honest with you, I am so much happier with my home decor now that I am trying to be more intentional and purposeful, which I will say I always have been, but I definitely went through a phase where I felt like I needed those items from those drops. So speaking of color palette and color material, there was a time when I almost took this like too seriously, and I mostly talk about the color palette, where I had an all gray home. I had gray floors, I was painting my doors gray, I had gray walls, gray couches, gray. My dining room table was gray, everything was gray, and I know that that was hot back in the day, but I do think that this is something that has helped me learn for future design decisions that I'm gonna make, and understanding maybe not to take the color palette so literal. So what I've done now instead is, yes, I do have a color palette and I do try to kind of keep within that color palette, but I also try to think of it more as a material palette. So when I see the items, I pay more attention to the material than I do the color. And I think that this has helped me bring a lot more texture into my home, a lot more interest, and it has broadened the items that I'm purchasing for my home, and really helping me create that very unique home that feels different, it feels collected, it feels like it's evolving over time. And this has been the number one thing I personally think has really taken my home to the next level and has really helped it feel upscale, collected, unique, different, and I love it. Once I really understood, okay, let's not take the color palette so literal and really think about it as more materials, and I feel like it just has really helped upscale my home in a new way that I could never imagine. It feels so elevated, it feels so mature. I am just loving the items that I'm finding instead of being so focused on a color palette, and it just has been a game changer. So I encourage you to try it if you haven't. I will kind of put in some photos of some materials that I love, and you guys, wow, game changer. The next design mistake that I have made is purchasing blindly. And what I mean by this is not creating a vision board. Now, whether you are purchasing for one room or you're trying to design your whole home, and whether that's gonna be done in a month or 3 years, I feel like having somewhat of a blueprint and somewhat of an idea and vision really helps with purchasing and helps not make those design mistakes when you are purchasing, especially from those big box stores. So say you are purchasing a new bed from Pottery Barn and a new dresser from Restoration Hardware and a new rug from CB2. Pulling those items into a vision board and seeing how they work together has been such a game changer. And I really learned this when I started designing for other people. I wasn't doing this for myself. I would just go out and, you know, find the pieces and love them and pull them all together. But I find that when I put together a vision board, it really keeps me intentional and keeps me in line with the overall vision that I want to create. Not only for each room, but pulling those vision boards together and seeing if there is a flow from one room to the next, seeing if my items thread through and if my home feels like it was designed and it feels intentional and purposeful and, you know, just kind of makes sense. So pulling together a vision board has been a game changer for me, and it has saved me a lot of money. Now, the next design mistake that I have made is buying too much of the same thing. And now let me tell you, I'm gonna be so real right now. I don't know if I have totally kicked this habit yet, because I'm the type of person that when I love something, I want all of them. I'm the type of person that will buy the shirt in all the colors they come in. Or for instance, vintage clay pots. I'm obsessed. You guys already know. I want them all. I want the ones with the handles. I want the ones with 4 handles. I want the ones that are big and small, and I want the glazed ones, and then I want the matte ones. Like, it's so bad. I haven't kicked this habit quite yet. However, what I'm really meaning when I say, you know, not buying too much of the same thing is, although I'm buying all those things, I can thread them throughout my home. But what I'm really meaning is buying like all the same furniture pieces. So I'm buying all the matching sets or all the same kind of idea. So maybe glam. One thing that I've done in the past is I really loved the glam look and everything was glam, and then it was just almost too much glam. So now what I try to do is pick little pieces from each little design that I like and really create that mixture, and it really helps your home feel curated. It helps your home feel collected and purposeful, and it doesn't look like I walked into a home decor store and purchased everything that was on display and just put it in my house. It really feels special and different from other homes, which is my ultimate goal when it comes to my home design. Now, this next mistake I, again, am still going through in my home, but understanding scale and really taking scale into consideration. Now, right now, our TV is really, really big, and the stand that it's on is small. Now, this is another mistake that I'm going to say next, but the scale is so off. It is so off. The stand should be much bigger than the TV. It should feel more balanced, but it almost feels like the TV is about to flop over, and the scale is just off. Now, another mistake that I've made this with is rugs. I have purchased rugs that are too small. Never too big, because, you know, once they get bigger, they get more expensive. But a lot of the times I've purchased rugs that are too small. And now what I try to do is, if I can't afford the big rug, I will wait until I can afford it to be able to purchase the item that makes sense and that is scaled correctly to the space. And this is such a game changer. It feels like a designer was in your home, especially with rugs. I feel like I noticed this big time with rugs and artwork, but just hold off, save up for another couple of months or however long it takes you, and get the rug that really is going to fit that space and make your home feel so much better. Because in the end, you're going to realize the scale is off, you're gonna buy another rug, and then you're going to end up spending more money in the long run. So hold off, save your money, and get the piece that is scaled correctly. So the next design mistake that I have made and am currently making, I slightly mentioned it in the last mistake. Now, I have to do this mistake because there are a lot of the times that, and I've talked about this on my channel and is something I highly recommend, and that is purchasing right now. So whether you are in an apartment, in a rental, you own your home, but it's not your dream home, buy for that dream home today. Now, I have to do this. When it comes to more affordable items, I am great at this. I will buy it and plan on keeping it forever. I want that collected home. I want that intentional home. I want that home to really evolve over time. However, I have made mistakes with this, and that is waiting for that space, if you know what I mean. So The items that are more expensive, like a TV stand, as I just mentioned, my TV scale versus the stand is way off. I haven't purchased a TV stand, one, because my husband made this one and we don't have anywhere to put it and there's no way I'm getting rid of it. But two, TV stands are a more expensive purchase and I haven't wanted to do that because I'm not in that space. So for me, one thing that I have slightly done is purchase for that dream home and really kind of get to know your style and get to know the materials that you love and get to know items that you'll have for a long time. Now, I was just at my aunt's house the other day and I realized my aunt has had these items in her home for as long as I can remember. I mean, she's not one to swap out, and I think that was something that they did in the past a lot. They would purchase and keep those items and purchase high quality and keep them and take care of them. And I think that you can absolutely do this today if you do it wisely and correctly and not get caught up in the trends. So for me, as I was saying, I have slightly done this without purchasing the things that I would take to the next home, like a TV stand, or I'm having a hard time redoing my bedroom because I'm like, okay, well, in the house, I'm gonna want a king bed, and should I get this? I could use it as a guest bedroom, but what if I want king beds for the guest bedroom? I get so caught up in my mind, but I live here right now. So I need to decorate and be happy with the space that I'm in right now. All right, you guys, and those are the mistakes, the design mistakes that I wanted to talk about in today's video. As I've mentioned, I really don't believe in design mistakes. I do think that there's design rules that really help the space make sense, but overall, live in the home that sets your heart on fire, that makes you happy. It's your space. And ultimately, you just want to feel good in your space. But I want to know, are there any design mistakes that you think that you've made that have helped you elevate your home design today? Let me know down in the comments, and I will see you guys in a couple days with another. Bye.